New year equals a new series. Instead of making empty resolutions like so many other musicians, let's do something with ours. In this video, you're going to get a map of targets over the jazz standard Blue Bossa. Hi, my name is Jason Klobnak and I'm a jazz trumpeter from Denver, Colorado that helps musicians find a better way to improvise. If you're looking for a quick jazz improv tip that will help your soloing, then you've come to the right place. When the calendar flipped over to 2021, many of us looked at what we accomplished and what we didn't get done. One thing that's been on my resolution list every year is to learn more standards that I don't know, revisit ones that are forgotten, and to be able to play ones that I'm familiar with in keys that don't usually get called. So I wanted to invite you into this journey with me. The first video in this series is on a standard that you may already know. It's Kenny Dorham's Blue Bossa. This is one of the first songs I learned way back in middle school. It's typically called in C minor, and we will create a map together of the chord changes in that key. However, since this is one that I'm already familiar with, let's challenge our ears and technique and work it out in the key of concert A minor. Let's map it out. This is an important process of learning a new tune or getting under the hood of an unfamiliar progression. If you drive your vehicle from one destination to another often enough, you will get familiar with how to get there and what alternate routes can be taken if there's traffic or roadblocks. The same is true for improvisation. If you've played the same chord progression often enough, you know how to get around. However, if you're in a new city or have a chord progression that's unfamiliar, you may want to map it out or have a GPS guide you. For me, the less I have to think about when navigating something new, the better. Don't get bogged down with too many options when you first start this process. The more familiar I become with something, the more I can expand my options. When you're driving in a new city, for example, you want to know how to get from point A to point B. You're really not too concerned on that first trip or two about alternate routes. I like to take the same approach to mapping out new chord changes. When I map out a new chord progression, I will look for commonalities between the chords. Are there key areas or key centers? Can multiple chord changes share the same or similar pattern? And if there are commonalities, I will explore those avenues first. Then I'll make a simple map of targets that I'm going to aim for along the way. In Blue Bossa, there are 2 5/1s in major and minor keys. Measures 5 through 8 is a minor 2-5-1 progression in the key of C minor, which is the main key area. And in measures 9 through 12, there's a major 2-5-1 in the key of D flat major, or a major key a half step up from the original key. This is important to point out because it helps think about how the progression shifts in degrees when we transpose the changes to a new key, like we will to A minor in just a moment. The last 4 bars has the minor 2-5-1 in the original key, with a quick minor 2-5 as a turnaround to take us back to the top of the progression, which has us taking a look at the first 4 measures, with the minor 1 chord for 2 measures moving to the minor 4 chord in measures 3 through 4. Chord scale folks will argue about whether you should use Dorian minor or Aeolian minor, which is a natural minor. I'm not one that likes to focus on scales, but in this situation, I personally like the Dorian sound, which highlights the natural 6 of the key. In this case, that's the A natural. I like it because when the F minor 7 chord comes, that A natural resolves down a half step to the A flat. That half step motion not only helps highlight a harmonic change, but almost begs you to do something melodically with it. Those 2 notes are also my targets. These are notes I'll aim at and then use various tools to get there. One of my go-to tools is using the major pentatonic of a key area, which for minor keys, I like to start the major pentatonic scale on the flat 3rd of the minor chord, or the minor key. In this case, that would be the E flat major pentatonic scale. I use the pentatonic scale not for its patterns, but because so many melodies can be built using them. Then I'll add in that A natural to the pentatonic. I can keep the same pentatonic, guess what, on that F minor 7 chord, but now change the added A natural to an A flat. If you're wondering, well, Jason, why not just play the whole scale if you're just going to add a note to the pentatonic? It goes back to the melodic possibilities that are inside of a pentatonic pitch collection. As an improviser, we're not playing scales, we're playing melodies. If the pentatonic pitch collection with an added note helps me simplify my note choices to make better melodies, guess what? That's what I'm going to use. Now, is the pentatonic scale or pitch collections the only tool I'll use? Of course not. There's a handful of tools that I'll want to use, especially over the minor 2-5-1 that occurs in this progression. If you'd like to check out those tools, be sure to check out some of my other videos or go to the link in the description below to learn more. Here's my simple map of targets that I'm intending to hit along the way. Some of these are macro or global targets. They're the 1, the 3, or 5 of the key area. Some are micro targets, also commonly known as guide tones. These are the chord tones of the chord of the moment. But for micro targets, I love to pick the notes that highlight a harmonic change within a key area whenever they're present. Since not everyone is familiar with blue bossa in the key of C minor, I'm going to play a few choruses in C minor and then give you an opportunity to try it in this video as well. But right after that, because I'm trying to challenge myself this year too, I'll play a few choruses in A minor and then give you a chance to do it right after too. hope you've enjoyed this video and that it has added value or benefit to your playing in some way. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell that's right next to it that lets you know when another video comes out. And if you know any other musician that might find this useful, you can share it with them too. Until then, my name is Jason Klobnak, and I'll see you on the next one.